I was very worried when I saw that Biden was going to be meeting with them to potentially negotiate. There was a little bit of sign that maybe he's not going to pull a first couple years of Obama, because I saw a tweet from Jeff Stein. White House has put out a statement saying they are not open to lowering the stimulus payments below $1,400 per person. Although, as we've pointed out, they already lowered it.
How did this even happen?
But they're saying they're not going to lower it beyond that. But they might be willing to open to changing the income thresholds, which again just makes me want to rip out the little bit of hair that I have. But apparently they're at least drawing a line at where they were treated to, which is the $1,400 checks. And in terms of the overall, this stupid nonsense conversation that we're having about bipartisanship and unity, which honestly, I blame Joe Biden for a lot of that because he does talk about it a lot. His chief of staff put out a tweet saying this is a bipartisan agenda, pointing to the fact that 2/3 of Americans side with Joe Biden on COVID relief. And I want to give you a few of those numbers to buttress Ronald Klain's point. 63% of people would like to see coronavirus aid pass as soon as possible. 72% of Democrats, 59% of independents, even 56% of Republicans, 55% of people would be fine with literally changing the rules of the Senate to get it passed as quickly as possible. Notably, the most important priority for these people is not unity or bipartisanship. It turns out they would rather eat than not eat in a bipartisan fashion. Weird. Yeah. But anyway, 79% of people support $1,400 stimulus checks. 77% feel the same about funding to help schools reopen. Other efforts, including an eviction moratorium, increased funding for vaccines and testing, also had a majority of people's support. It is already bipartisan, whether elected Republicans want to recognize that or not. And I would say that maybe they could be a little bit more humble with their demands, considering that they have failed as epically as a party can, specifically because they're not doing anything about this, and they spent almost a year not doing anything about this. That took the presidency from Donald Trump. He would have gotten reelected if he had even pretended to give half a damn about the pandemic. They would still control the Senate if they'd pretended to care, give half a damn about it. They didn't do that, so they lost. How many ways do the American people need to show that they want something to be done? They've done it in every way imaginable. Now, hopefully the bill will actually get passed at long last.
I'm really hopeful. You said you were afraid when Biden met with these GOP members, but I really feel like Biden's in the IDGAF club. He's an older man. He's at the end of his political career. This is not going to be an Obama administration. Obama still had a political agenda and a career and a sort of legacy to uphold. I hope that Biden is just going to try to do the right thing. Who cares? I'll just get it done. I'll just push it through. Because I don't know. He owes a lot of favors. That's the danger that I'm afraid of. Biden's been in politics his whole life, and he owes a lot of people back scratches. So we're going to see where that lays in here. But in regards
gives a lot of unnecessary back scratches historically.
Yeah. Well, 63% of people need aid. 79% of people support the $1,400, and 100% of the people of the 79% support $2,000 checks too. Nobody's going to be mad to get an extra $600 in that check, which I still haven't even gotten my last stimulus check. And I know a lot of Americans haven't. Why? Because the post office is struggling still. So we are already, by the time we get that check, it's gonna be June, and then they're gonna be like, oh, you're vaccinated, you don't need it anymore. I appreciate Biden letting them in the office and having a meeting with them. Why? Because we had 4 years with a president who didn't even consider that and didn't even do his job. He didn't do his work at all. So that's good, because that is gonna help, give this veil of unity at least. It makes me laugh that Fox News and all these GOP people complain about Biden's unity plan. Like, the guy is trying to do something here. Give him a break. You're gonna get on him about unity? It's gonna be a bipartisan effort. Why? Because it's helping the whole country. That's why it's a bipartisan effort. Most of the people aren't Jeff Bezos last time I checked. So they're gonna need this support.
Yeah, it's just, they don't want anything to happen. and not wanting anything to happen is gonna be flavored differently depending on the time. They think they can get a month or two out of, but you said unity to get nothing done. And then finally, eventually it's gonna be 6 months of, but elections are coming, don't do anything.
Right.
And they'll find some other obstructive way to stop things from happening. I don't care about the sprinkles on top of your obstruction or your desire for gridlock, because you fundamentally come from a political philosophy that feels like, hey, we're doing okay, we don't have any problems, so the government shouldn't function. Because if the government were to function and actually do things, they might have to raise taxes. That is the entirety of their political philosophy. I have no interest in that. I don't care about their PR attempts to dress it up.
It's disgusting, John, because their constituents need the help. This is a priority, this is urgent, and for them to be sitting on their laurels like this, it's really, really, really disgusting.
Yeah, I agree.
That's why people hate politics, is because of that kind of behavior.
Yeah, a government that never delivers is, I mean, they've found sort of a way around that for some of their constituents. A lot of elected Republicans could use the help, but have been trained to think that the only point of government is to troll liberals. I mean, or to demonize the trans community or something. Like, they found a way to channel people's anger into stuff that has literally nothing to do with economics, but other people can see through that. Exactly. For more political news breakdowns, interviews, stories of activism, and me trying my hardest to care about the occasional big celebrity news story, subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/thedamagereport. And you can ring the bell wherever it is so you don't miss anything.